Good morning, everyone. Brian here again with BMK Retro Gaming. This morning I have for us the review of the Atari VCS 2600 original library game, BurgerTime. Now, as everyone who's ever heard of this game before is probably aware, it is an arcade port, generally speaking. And in this case, it's a little bit of an interesting one. Now, don't have much more information than this on it. I guess they were kind of not really big on revealing things at the company, but the arcade cabinet original was developed by Data East and published by Bally Midway, though Data East also did the publishing and distribution in Japan themselves, but Bally Midway did here in the North American market, and that was in 1982. Then in 1983, under license, Mattel developed and published under their M Network label this particular arcade port of the game. Now, I have my copy here, which you guys may have seen me unbox a while back. Here it is, and has a protective overcase for everything. It was originally sealed, but I opened it. I always forget, that these, like the M Network ones, you're technically supposed to open from the bottom, so I tried it from the top first. Anyway, it was still sealed and everything. It's pretty decent looking. We have BurgerTime there and everything, M Network, for your Atari 2600 game system. And of course on the back we have a little bit of a screenshot of what the gameplay would be like, as well as a description here. Anyway, it's pretty nice in that respect. Let me not open it wrong here. Pretty nice box. Cost me a little bit of a pretty penny. I don't remember exact, since it's been a while since I did the unboxing video. Anybody wants to know about that, feel free to go back and take another look. Okay, here's the cartridge itself. It's a pretty standard M Network cartridge, which is basically an Intellivision type cartridge, which has been made out so that it can fit with the Atari here. And it says BurgerTime here on the front label, and 1982 Data East USA Incorporated. And it also came with among everything else, a little M Network fold out that advertises some of the M Network games. Yep, and it looks like all of them on here were released, at least that I can see. Yep, all these were. And let's see, it also came with a notice thing that says use only left controller for 1 or 2 players. No limited warranty, I don't guess. And here, of course, is the manual, which it says instructions for 1 or 2 players. And it describes here on first, build beautiful burgers by dropping buns and patties onto a plate. Dodge horrible hot dogs. Defy brawling breadsticks. Pepper enormous eggs and charging cheese. Score points by squashing these nasties with a falling bun. Build all the burgers and you move on to the next maze. Get too close to a nasty though, and it's back to burger school for you in short order. For your Atari 2600 game system. BurgerTime is a trademark of Data East Incorporated, used under license 1982 Data East USA Incorporated. Okay, so here it tells us a little bit about on this first page, next page. Your chef, the game, you move your chef around the maze in a frantic attempt to build hamburgers before nasties converge on you. Move across the top of the burger ingredients and they will drop a level. Work all the ingredients to the bottom and you'll move on to the next maze. Score points by dropping in ingredients, squashing nasties, or giving them a ride down on a falling ingredient. Dust a nasty with some pepper and he'll stop in his tracks. If a nasty touches him, your chef is cooked, so watch out. Play one alone or challenge a friend. Highest score wins. Okay, and that tells us about using the controllers and all. And the difficulty switches. Basically, you set it to black and it says here, you set it to color for on your TV. The other difficulty switches to hang on. The TV type switch set to color mode for the higher difficulty, and for the lower difficulty, set it to black and white mode. Then it says the switches on the right near the right controller cable determines the number of players. Switch position A is for 2 players, and B is for a 1-player game. And in switch position A, the 2 players take turns using the left controller. And the left-hand switch may be used to freeze the action by sliding it into the A position, while position B returns the game to action from the point which you stopped it. Okay, then it tells us action about everything here, which is pretty basic. Your chef is Peter Pepper, of course, we know this. And you start with 5 chefs. And you get an extra chef at every 10,000 points. Then it talks about the nasties and the mazes, which here it's a little bit different. Instead of having Mr. Sausage, what was it? Egg and pickle, and what was the other one? I forget. In here you have Mr. Hot Dog, who looks this one. Mr. Egg just looks white. And then you have 2 that we didn't have in the arcade cabinet original. Breadsticks, these big thin brown ones. And then the slightly lighter, more reddish ones are supposed to be the cheese. And it tells you that there are 5 mazes constructed of ladders and planks. And of course, you get more points by dropping an enemy on an ingredient. Let's see. Basically, scoring-wise, when you drop an ingredient onto a nasty, that's 200 points. And when you drop them on an ingredient, it's 500. And you start with 5 pinches of pepper you can use to stun them. But you can earn more. It doesn't say how many at maximum. And to use your pepper, it basically sprays in whatever direction you're moving when you press the button for it. Oh, and getting an extra pepper, gobbling one of the things that gives you an extra pepper is also worth 500 points. Okay. So it says here, it explains further in scoring here, which is 50 points for knocking a hamburger point off of a horizontal plank, 100 for squashing an egg or cheese with a falling hamburger part, and it's 200 for squashing a hot dog or breadstick with it. Then it's 500 for each one who takes a ride down on one, and 500 for gobbling any of the extra pepper pinch items. And then, of course, here it gives us some winning tips and tells us a little bit about what those items look like. Like here, this one would be ice cream. This one here is French fries. And this last one is a coffee. And then, of course, it has on back, there's our 90-day limited warranty. So anyway, let me get this back in the box real quick. Without damaging the box, hopefully. As my friend Mr. Brian Puddin had made a video of his channel, Brian's Man Cave had made a video about a little while ago, you know, it can be sometimes worth it to get a still CIB, sealed and CIB complete in-box game like this, but it's gotten to be more expensive. For me, where I can afford to do it, it's cool, and it makes for a cool presentation here, but seriously, you can look up instructions and stuff online these days and all, and really, there's no reason why you can't go with just a loose copy of any game you might like, so. Anyway, with this one, it does, how can I put this easily? If, like myself, you sometimes use or primarily use a Hypercam Retron 77 emulation hardware clone console to play your games, well, with this one, the trick is it will play on it if you have it on there as a digitally downloaded game ROM, but it apparently won't read it and play it from cartridge. At least I'm able to get mine to. So you'd require basically either original hardware or about equivalent. As such, I've got my Atari 7800 out. I'm going to pop this in there, and we're going to take a look at some gameplay for a bit. Okay, so here we go with gameplay of BurgerTime, Atari VCS 2600 original library arcade port. Playing on the Atari 7800, as far as I know, it doesn't even have a black and white TV switch, so we'll just have to wing it some. But it does work okay here, so I'm not going to complain. Okay, as we can see, it's not super graphically pleasing, and it does play a bit slow, and even though it does have some music, it's not super. Otherwise, the vast majority of the elements from the arcade cabinet original are here, except for, well, I guess you could say except for things like that, ooh, I'm gonna go ahead and reset that, didn't mean to let it get me that way. Another thing about this one is there is kind of a pattern to the game. That's one thing I do like about this one in many ways is there is kind of a pattern to playing it and doing so successfully, so you're not really just stuck with no way to get it done without having a big hassle over it. That was the fries, I believe. The enemies on here are not too bright, but they will chase you sometimes. But sometimes they will also pattern off and do something else for whatever reason, so. In that respect, this can get kind of interesting. Would you please? No! I couldn't get him to move right. That's probably more a bit my fault with the controller. I played through this and got through quite a few of this levels or stages on it before, but it's been a while since I played it too much, so a tad bit rusty. I did go ahead and give it a bit of a practice run while I was waiting this evening. I'm going to give it a bit of a practice run so I could refamiliarize myself with it by a bit. Hate having to waste a pep on it like that, but what else am I going to do? No, 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 no. We're not doing it like that, you stupid thing. Don't know why I can't get my parent in here just right, but probably because I'm slowing down and missing a step on it here and there. Okay. I know that's not going to work right, so one more time. Forgive me, for some reason I'm just not able to... Controller's just wanting to be a bit stubborn right now, and it's not bad, but I'm using the Hyperkin Retron 77's Trooper controller, the original one, and it usually works out for things like this pretty okay, so... Move, please. No! Jeez. There we go, that worked a bit better. No! I'm not gonna do it that way. I do not give one crap about doing it that way, so... Well, that's one more little egg down, but I don't know, There we go. I know I have the parent down for this one, so what the heck is going on here? I mean, this game doesn't vary that much. As I said, they will chase you some here, but not usually all that much, so... They usually kind of settle into their own little pattern deal, and that's about it. That might be where I started to mess up right there a bit. Yeah, skip one more than I would usually do that way, I think. Okay, there we go. It was as much my fault as anything else. I was just doing it one step out of order that I've got here that usually works for me. I don't think so. Yeah, these little enemies are pretty silly most of the time. You can get around them pretty good if you watch yourself. Okay, so that's screen 1, pretty much one and done. Or level 1. And here we are at 2. This one's a bit more complex. Despite it being virtually unrecognizable here, In general, the levels and such do mostly follow and correspond to what you would have seen with the arcade cabinet original. This is not unique level designs or anything like that. My apologies about the rough start, but you know, sometimes you just forget how you got things patterned out right, and you know. Ah! Darn. Again, see, they're pretty silly, stupid. Take a ride, punk. Darn it. That's another thing right there. The collision detection on this one is not 100% super. Sometimes these guys still get you when you should be pretty well clear of them. He was peppered, you little... Thank you. And if I'm not mistaken, that was also an extra life for me, so... Or maybe not, only 7,900, and it needs to be 10,000, but... Whatever. Damn it. And why didn't that just kill him? How? I was clear, you stupid thing. Okay, we'll give it one more little shot here. Although it is kind of slowed down and all, I wouldn't say the graphics or anything, you know. Well, the music is still okay, and although it's a fair deal slower than we might get from some other versions of the game in a way, it's not really all that bad by any measure. A bit slow, yes, but still playable. No, you're not going to screw me up like that again. I know my little parent on you little jerk, so don't even try to throw me. A bit better. So 4-state, I know how to do this one. Not that complicated. Hate to use one pepper on one idiot, but might as well, since that's what I need to do there. this one... Don't know how I got messed up so bad earlier, but go figure. I. You also have to be careful to really, and I do mean really, try to get around those ladders just about right, because, it's pretty easy to get screwed up if you're not careful enough about it. Pepper. If I'm not mistaken, where it says 6 is my number of peppers, where lives is where it says 5 over there on the right, so... Follow. Dummy. Nope. Sometimes they'll do this thing where the enemies get stuck where they're kind of just stuck in a holding pattern or something and they don't do much else. I don't know if that's kind of a minor glitch or what. Darn it. Stop trying to just kill me like that on the first. It's ridiculous. Come on, I was up there. What does it take? Now that's just unfair right there. Oh well. I figure you guys probably have a good enough idea what the gameplay by now. I do have a tough time on 3, and again, it's been a long time. Okay, so that was BurgerTime, a 1983 arcade port from Mattel's M-Network label for the Atari VCS 2600. Is it pretty good? Well, it's actually one of, generally speaking, the lesser regarded ports of the game. The port for the Mattel Aquarius home computer back then, I believe, was worse regarded along with a minor number of others. I mean, it's perfectly playable and not too bad at all. I know some of my preferred YouTubers and all who have mentioned, you know, growing up, this was the version they generally played, and they thought it was pretty good at the time. Apparently, they might not have ever seen the arcade cabinet original. Me, I personally grew up first with the third generation Nintendo NES port, which is okay too, but this is not as bad as it could be. It's a bit slower, not as graphically impressive as it could be. Appears to glitch a bit with the enemies getting into holding patterns and all, but other than that, this one's pretty good in general. Like a lot of other ports and versions of BurgerTime, if you learn how to pattern it out, you can really play this one through and get pretty far with it and have a pretty good time. let's see, my friend and fellow YouTuber content creator Brian Puddin has shown off on a video where there's actually a modern day homebrew remake of this, which is supposed to be much more arcade accurate. I'm not sure if that's come out or released or what, but this one for the original library port, it could be a lot worse than it is, though it's not super either. Anyway, I do have a few recommendations and links for you guys. Well, actually, quite a few. I think about 13 here from my preferred YouTubers. Now, we've got here Crow Capture, Pets' Gym 1, Pure Retro Games. Not sure if I've even shared anything with them from them or before or not. Epic Game, Kamar's Gaming, Willie with his channel Arcade USA. There's 2 here from him. High Retro Game Lord, Retro Bliss Gaming, which I think this may be the first time I've shared something from him, though I'm not 100% certain. Patman QC History of Arcade Game Documentaries, which with that one, Patman goes over the arcade cabinet original and then all the conversions and ports of the game, including this one. So it's a pretty good video. Retro Game Clips, and of course Phil with his channel, The No Swear Gamer. Now, big shout out to my Atari 2600 Facebook group. Love you guys over there, and although the weather here is not super great, hopefully y'all will get this before too terribly long this morning. Also, go ahead and keep your eyes peeled on my feed for what the here on YouTube as well as on Facebook and Twitter if you follow me there for what this next Sunday's upcoming homebrew, pro-brew, or prototype game will be, which it's more than likely going to be another emulated prototype, which I do have picked out. I'll just put the announcement post up later and you'll find out then. Anyway, otherwise, I'm going to leave links for all these recommendations for you guys, all 13 of them, as well as a link to the Wikipedia article on BurgerTime, because it's pretty good for those who might care to read up on it further. In the meantime, if you guys enjoy my channel's content, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and please don't hesitate to leave any questions, comments, or suggestions down in the comment section below. You guys take care, have a wonderful Wednesday, and hopefully I will see everyone back here again this coming Sunday.